duel, pretty focused on, maybe just happy to be here. I mean, that's the best part about Yu-Gi-Oh! If you're having fun playing and you're with your friends, you know, the winning is just a bonus if you're able to win your matches. So you want to have fun at first and then focus on doing well. Because, you know, if you're not having fun, what are you doing? But let's go ahead and jump into it. It's game number 1 of round 4 of YCS Richmond. And it's time to duel. So Jesse is going to be on that Unchained strategy. He's been playing it for a few tournaments now. I think this might be like his 5th or 6th in a row.
He won a YCS with it not too long ago.
Yep, started it off with a dub not too long ago indeed. And now his opponent is on another strategy we haven't seen too much recently, but has been popular in the past, and that's going to be Brigade Sprite. Both these decks did get some help in Age of Overlord. I mean, every deck did with SP Little Knight going into the extra deck. Both these decks will be able to use that, but it looks like Jesse is going to start the duel with a tour guide from the Underworld.
Nice start for Cotton.
Indeed. I wonder if Jesse is packing something like Sangan. Sangan has become popular, but nope, looks like he is going to go for Fiendish Rhino Warrior. But I was going to say, if you get Sangan and you're able, you don't need to have to send the Fiend down, you can get a Disruption card for your opponent's next turn, something like Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, while you're also doing your combos. Kind of picked up some popularity in Unchained recently. But we're going to see a Link 2 come down, the Unchained Soul Lord of Yama, and that's going to be able to add a Ruha to the hand. And now Fiendish Rhino is going to be able to send a Fiend to the graveyard. So he's going to send Shavara, and Shavara is going to allow him to set an Unchained Trap from the deck to his Spell and Trap card zone.
Very cool. Asala was telling me about that Sangan tech not too long ago.
Oh, yeah.
I really do like that it can search for Droll and Lockbird and Dash Blossom and other relevant cards.
Indeed, yeah. And it looks like he is setting Escape. But yeah, going back to Sangan, it's kind of funny that now it's a cool, innovative tech to use Sangan with Tour Guide. Who would have thought? Not me. It's something that's kind of gone full circle where Sangan's kind of fallen out of favor, but now he's back. Now it looks like Jesse's going to destroy the Escape to special summon a Ruha from his hand. Since Escape was destroyed, he's going to be able to special summon an Unchained monster from the deck to the field, with the Aruha also special summoning itself from the hand. Now let's see what he decides to go for. It might be Sarama or Shyama or Rikea. Looks like he's going to go ahead and grab Rikea to start cycling out his Unchained monsters.
Looks like he'll use Rikea's effect to destroy Aruha, and then use Aruha's effect.
Bring out Sarama. Sarama's going to allow him to reset a trap and then destroy a card on his side of the field. So he's going to reset that Escape, destroy Rikea. Yep. And now Rikea is going to special summon from the deck. So the goal is to get those level 6 monsters on the field so you can get to the DDD Wave High King Caesar. So he's going to get Shyama so he can go to the graveyard, linking away the Soul. And now he's going to go into Soul of Rage.
I only saw one card in Rohan's hand, and it was Super Polymerization, which might be a good one.
Definitely a way to break through boards. Now, Jesse is going to use Shyama's effect in the graveyard to destroy Sarama, to special summon itself back. And then the Sarama's effect, since it was destroyed, is going to special summon Shavara from the deck. So now he does have that Soul of Rage on the field and the 2 level 6s that he needs to go into DD Wave High King Caesar. And the High King Caesar, that's going to allow Jesse to negate effects that special summon.
There he is, High King Caesar. Declan would be proud.
Declan definitely would be proud. You know, he'd be like, there's another extra deck thing he needs to work on. Links.
He needs to get those Link monsters.
He's got some throughout the TCG, but it was nice to see him use them in the show. It'd be pretty cool. And he has that Escape that he set also from the Sarama, so he has a decent amount of interruptions. He can use the Escape to destroy Soul of Rage to destroy a card, and then he can use the Yama's effect in the graveyard to bring back the Soul of Rage. So there's about 3 easy interruptions to see, but the Soul of Rage can also go into SP Little Knight, but Forbidden Droplet. This card is huge, and he's going to send Nibble Angler and another copy of Droplet, so that's going to negate the effect of Soul of Rage and the Caesar at the same time, and sends the Angler to the graveyard. So he sent a monster and a spell, so Jesse can still respond with a trap if he so chooses.
Can't imagine he has a relevant trap card he'd want to activate in response to that.
Yeah, I don't know why he would do it here in particular, but it looks like Jesse is going to use Escape right away. Oh, because he has to send 2. So since he sent 2, he has to negate 2 monsters.
So if by destroying one of his own, he can actually cause the Forbidden Droplet to resolve without effect.
Yep, so he won't be able to negate
be able to keep the effect of his Caesar. Brilliant play by Jesse Cotton.
Bold move from Cotton, and he's going to negate the Nimble Angler in the graveyard with the Caesar. This is really showing you...
Really good play, and I admit I did not see it.
Yep, knowing what you can do is a huge aspect. And since he detached the Shavara is sent to the graveyard, and he gets to set the chamber from the deck. So the droplet still dealt with a decent amount of interruption because he's not going to be able to summon back that Soul Rage right away. But if he can deal with this one more material from the Caesar, Rohan might be able to play through this hand. I do see a copy of Sprite. Nope, nothing there for Rohan. After that excellent play from Jesse, he's going to take it easily with the mastery of, his Unchained deck, showing you this is why he is that 5-time YCS champion, UDS champion, multi-time Worlds competitor, and as you mentioned, even got second place at the Master Duel World Championship. Yeah, when I was talking about all the times he's been to the World Championship, I wasn't even thinking about the Master Duel one, just all his TCG accomplishments. He's even made it to the top 8 with TCG, I believe.
Yeah, and that was incredible playing because the play he made was basically just destroying his own cards and an irrelevant card, a seemingly irrelevant card activated by the opponent. But by getting his own monster off the field, he was able to effectively stop the droplet, negate everything he needed to, and just instantly win.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was a little terrifying. I mean, maybe a little misstep from Rohan because he did know all of Jesse's cards. He knew he had that escape. Had he known that that was a play that Jesse could capitalize on, could have just sent the one Nimble Angler and then gone after the Caesar, but maybe his hand, he needed to get rid of both. But just going after that Caesar, then maybe have a chance for the Angler to resolve, get a couple monsters on the field, might have turned things around for him, but it's hard to read into that, to know that your opponent's going to be able to do something like that. But when you're facing a master like Jesse Cotton, you have to know that every tactic will be used. He knows the game in and out, and that's why he's one of the best duelists around.
No doubt.
But now going into the side decks, Rohan's going to be able to side into some things that might be helpful going first. I mean, looking at his list, maybe not. I'm also of the same factor. Like, I want to build my deck. If I'm going to win the die roll and choose to go first, my deck's geared for game 1. I'm going to be playing all my going first cards in my main deck. And then my side deck's going to be ready to dive in there for game number 2, because if you're going to be choosing to go first every time you win the die roll, chances are, I mean, unless you're really unlucky with the die rolls, like a lot of people are, you're going to be playing going first more often than not. I guess it's still always a 50-50 shot.
Yeah, it's always good to be able to, for games 2 and 3, it's always good to be able to sort of control your deck a little bit for those matchups. They've had some interesting events actually in Master Duel where you choose a different deck going first than you do going second. So you can always have the deck you want to use for whether you're first or second.
Yeah, it's pretty cool with the Master Duel tournaments that we have. So when we have like Remote Duel Extravaganza and stuff, we also have Master Duel main events at those Remote Duel Extravaganzas that you're talking about, where you're able to have multiple decks. Like, your whole collection is your side deck. You could even switch to a completely different deck even, which is something really cool. And if you haven't checked out all that, you definitely want to go to Yugioh-card.com, find out about our Remote Duel Extravaganzas, our Remote Duel YCSs, because even if you don't want to do a Remote Duel and play the trading card game, we have digital events that you can also play at those Remote Duel events for Duel Links and Master Duel alike. Yeah,
those events are awesome. I always switch decks between duels so that it's impossible for my opponent to side deck against
properly.
Me. Because if you can change your entire deck, what's the point of side decking? I was actually referring though to an in-game event that they've had twice.
Oh, I remember that event too.
2 separate decks. So that's always interesting. I usually use Cyber Dragons going second and just.
I did forget about that recent event they had in Master Duel. That was a fun one, where you'd have the go first deck and the go second deck, so anytime you're queued up to go second, you're already ready with the right deck. Yeah, that is a cool event.
I'm ready to summon Cyber Dragon and Infuse.
That is awesome. Now they are finishing side decking right here. Looks like fixing the names.
Yeah, but the Master Duel tournaments have been awesome. I always enjoy playing in them, and because players are allowed to swap decks between duels into something completely different, you really get a wide experience. You play against a lot of different decks throughout the tournament, more decks than you do. You play against more decks than you have opponents, which is really, really a cool experience.
Yeah, I really like doing that, and the diversity, and more you have to keep track of. You have to make sure you know all the different strategies, and we're gonna have to see how that's gonna factor into game number 2 here at round 4 of YCS Richmond. Now it looks like Rohan is going to go first this time. Let's see what kind of board he's going to be able to establish. See if we can see some of these cool Tri-Brigade Sprite combos. I at least see a Tri-Brigade kit in the hand. And
DD Crow.
Yeah, nothing.
2 crows and an infinite impermanence and an anti-spell fragrance. Looks like he's setting a couple cards and passing.
Nope, no Sprite cards. Just
Does he play Almirage?
It doesn't look like it. If he did, I think he might have. I don't know how much the kit would have given. This isn't really a Tri-Brigade deck, more of a Sprite deck where you go access the Tri-Brigade engine, but Anti-Spell Fragrance is going to be flipped up right away during the draw phase.
So he's hoping to slow down Jesse, at least until he can draw a card that allows him to do some sort of combo. It seems he can't do anything with the kit alone. It must be nothing in his extra deck to link it into.
Yeah, it is very common to see that Almirage, as you were mentioning, but nothing here from Rohan. Now Jesse's going to consider his options here before he moves into the main phase. Now, Anti-Spell Fragrance strong against Unchained, but not the best. Like, they can definitely still play plenty as they use the traps and monster effects. Going to set a trap card, destroy it with Shavara, or sorry, set a spell card. Abomination's Prison, same difference.
The same thing. They both special summon monsters from the deck when destroyed while set.
Indefinitely. That spell card wasn't doing much in Jesse's hand thanks to that Anti-Spell Fragrance, so trading that for a new monster on the field is fantastic. Going to summon the Abominable Unchained one, and this will let him discard a card and destroy a card on the field.
Well, if the Anti-Spell Fragrance is a problem, he can destroy it. If it's not, it's just going to hold back Rohan. So this is a big problem for Rohan.
Oh, yeah, and the fact that he discarded the Fiendish Rhino Warrior is incredible, because that's going to let him access Escape. Well, he'll be able to send a Shavara that lets him set a trap card from the deck, but he's going to use the Infinite Impermanence here. Might as well use it or lose it, unless he targeted the Anti-Spell, in which case, still going to use it.
Yeah.
And so he has the DD Crow, so he can chain the DD Crow since it was a cost.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a cost to discard the Rhino, so he's going to be able to chain it in the same chain and banish it before it's going to have a chance to realize that it was sent to the graveyard.
That's a very confused Phoenix Rhino Warrior.
I don't know how I ended up here, but I am here.
Oh, I was just discarded. Why am I banished? Where's my effect?
Yep, exactly. It only kind of works. It doesn't work like this if he was discarded by an effect, but since it was discarded by a cost, that is how it works.
Yeah, its effect never went on the chain, and now it's gone.
Indeed.
But Jesse Cotton's not done there. He's going to normal summon Tour Guide, and looks like he'll special summon from his deck.
Yep, a Ruha. Another level 3 Fiend. Jesse filling up the board with monsters. He's going to link away the Shavara and the Tour Guide for Unchained Soul Yama. And then since Shavara is sent, he'll be able to set that trap card. This is looking really good for Cotton.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a second turn for Rohan.
I don't think so either. I mean, Tour Guide, one of the strongest cards in the Unchained deck, since it just directly goes into Yama and gives you access to that trap card. Going to set Chamber. And add a Ruha with the Yama. So now he's going to, yeah, this is already enough for the game. He can use a Ruha's effect from the hand to destroy the Chamber. Special summon in attack mode. The Chamber's going to summon an Unchained monster from the deck.
I didn't see a Nibiru in Rohan's hand. Droll and Lockbird is not going to help him.
Never added anything to his hand. Never gave him a chance. Yeah, Droll and Lockbird not the strongest against Unchained.
Yeah, never even had the opportunity to activate its effect.
Yeah, and the Rikea is even more damage with the quick effect he wants. Going to be able to attack, and Rohan just gets annihilated here in round 4. I mean, it is the myth, the man, the legend. It's Jesse Cotton. Will he win his 6th YCS here this weekend? I hope so. You know, like I had the 4 wins for so long. I was like, oh, this is awesome. I have so much cushion. No one's ever going to catch 4 wins. And then all of a sudden, this past couple of years, players have exploded onto the scene and just started dominating them. Jesse is one of the most dominant players in the game, and he's starting 4-0 here this weekend at YCS Richmond, and he could be walking away with the first ever 6-time YCS champion. I really hope so.
Yeah, he's definitely not to be underestimated.
Yeah, yeah.